after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing.
What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Also make sure to hit that bell notification, that way you get notified every time I post a video just like this one. Without further ado, let's jump right into the topic of this video. The Raiders defense got their first legitimate test week 2 on the road against a high-powered offense in the Buffalo Bills. The Raiders defense overall did good against the Denver Broncos in week 1, even though there were still a lot of things that concerned me in that game, and those things came to fruition and translated into week 2, where the Raiders defense failed miserably against the Buffalo Bills. The Raiders gave up 38 total points, over 450 total yards, and 183 yards on the ground. Needless to say, that was a terrible performance that's not going to get it done. And today we're going to analyze the tape and see what exactly went wrong for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, the Raiders were unable to stop the run all day against the Buffalo Bills, and here inside the red zone, look at the massive hole the Bills offensive line was able to generate. Third and short for the Raiders defense, and they show man-to-man coverage, double high safety look, and here cornerback David Long, who I didn't even know was on a roster. I thought we cut him, but anyways, he gets beat on this route way too easily on this simple drag route across the middle. Right here, undisciplined football right here that leads to a free play from Josh Allen, who gets aggressive and throws this strike to Gabriel Davis. And the main problem here is the pressure from our defensive line is non-existent. We weren't able to get any pressure, and if we're playing zone coverage, it's going to be so tough to stop without pressure on the quarterback, because the quarterbacks and the receivers in this league are too good nowadays. They're going to consistently be able to find the soft spots in zone coverage, so it's imperative we generate pressure up front if we want to have success on defense. Here we finally get a good play against the run, and look at number 41, Robert Spillane uses speed and takes a great angle, which allows him to beat number 64 and make a play to stop the runner. Now, I hate to pick on the rookie here, but unfortunately Tyree Wilson's first step and just overall get off is just so slow. The ball is already in Josh Allen's hands, and Tyree Wilson still has his hand on the turf. Just compare the difference between him and Maxx Crosby on the opposite side. This is a big problem because we need somebody on the opposite side of Maxx Crosby to be able to create pressure, and so far Tyree Wilson isn't even coming close. Now in this play, this is a very rare occasion I ever have to do something like this, but Maxx Crosby right here doesn't do a good job sealing the edge. The Bills right tackle is able to get his hands on him and gains position over him, which creates a big running lane for the Buffalo Bills. A pass interference call from Nate Hobbs, and this was just too obvious of a call. Just look at how Nate Hobbs is already making so much contact, and the ball is still in the air, and the Raiders really had no answer for Stefon Diggs one-on-one. Great red zone play here by number 41, Robert Spillane. Here he uses his physicality and strength to fight through the block and make the tackle. On this play, the rookie Jakorian Bennett just flat out gets beat. Look at how much separation there is on this play, which leads to that easy touchdown. Now right here, just look at the massive hole the Buffalo Bills are able to create once again on the offensive line. They're just able to get the pulling guard to wipe out Divine Diablo, which leads to an easy 9-yard run on the ground. Now this play right here, it's either a blown assignment or just a terrible play call, because nobody's covering the running back. Really the only one that was close to him was Robert Spillane, but it looks like he's spying the quarterback instead of covering someone, so I'm not sure if Spillane blew his assignment. Maybe he was supposed to cover the running back, or if he was just doing what he's supposed to do, but either way it leads to a huge gain. You can't have the running back just run wide open like this. Here the Raiders defense gets a goal line stand on 4th down. Overall good coverage here by Nate Hobbs and man-to-man. Way better than what we saw from David Long earlier against the tight end. And also Trayvon Merrick is able to help break this thing up. Now here, Jakorian Bennett once again man-to-man coverage against wide receiver Stefon Diggs. He had good coverage initially throughout the route, but my biggest issue here is there is zero pressure up front for the defensive line. You just can't expect a rookie, or really most cornerbacks in this league, to keep up with a talent like Stefon Diggs for so long in a route without him eventually being able to get open. Another play right here where we got gashed against the run. And here, number 51, Malcolm Koonce really needs to have better awareness because he over pursues this way too much. Almost as if he expected Josh Allen to drop back and throw the football, but he over pursues this and it leads to a massive hole for the running back to run through. Here, Nate Hobbs simply gets beat in man-to-man coverage, which leads to a devastating touchdown right before the half. It was one of the few plays too where we were finally able to get some pressure on Josh Allen as well, just an absolute dagger for this defense. Here, Jacorian Bennett has to do better and just react quicker on this play to make the tackle. And it's weird because last week he was just so good at making these type of plays against the Denver Broncos. He did it on multiple different occasions, but right here, too slow and doesn't take the best angle. Here, the Raiders are unable to contain Josh Allen inside the pocket, which leads to a scramble drill. And whenever this happens, especially with a quarterback like the caliber of Josh Allen, we really got no shot more times than not. A missed tackle here inside the backfield by Tyree Wilson, which leads to a 15-yard run. Look, Tyree Wilson needs to make these type of plays. Once again, Josh Allen breaks contain from the pocket and it leads to a scramble drill where Gabriel Davis is able to break free from the coverage from Jacorian Bennett, which leads to yet another big gain. So overall, Raider Nation, there is a lot to be concerned about when it comes to the defensive side of the football. First off, the Raiders defensive line and the interior specifically have been getting dominated. There's no way around it. We had zero pass rush from the middle, and we've been getting dominated against the run. We almost gave up 200 yards to the Buffalo Bills. That's absolutely crazy. The Raiders defense are also very close to averaging 5 yards a carry against the run. So look, right there and then, the Raiders are already behind the 8 ball when it comes to the defensive side of the football. If your D-line is weak, then it's going to translate throughout all levels of the defense. Also, the Raiders rookie defensive end Tyree Wilson has been a non-factor for us, and I really don't see him being very effective for us anytime this year, unfortunately. And it's a big problem because we need somebody on the opposite side of Max Crosby to get some pressure and to be productive. With zero pass rush, this defensive secondary will struggle tremendously. I personally don't think our corners and safeties are really that bad, but if we can't get any pressure to the quarterback, it's gonna be a long season for them. Our linebackers actually don't look that bad either, but the biggest issues I see thus far is the defensive line. I would also like to see our defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, switch things up, especially in pre-snap. He needs to do a better job of disguising certain coverages and also just drawing up some more creative blitzes, especially with a struggling defensive line. Also, last game against the Buffalo Bills, he really didn't do a good job adjusting because we were playing very conservative, giving them a lot of stuff underneath, but that only works when you're in the ball game or when you have the lead over your opponent. But when you're down 20 points, well, you got to change things up because at that point, the opposing offense is just gonna be happy to take those easy completions. Now, the Raiders season is still very early, so there's still some time to improve on this defense, but there's no doubt our players will have to step up. Before the season started, I did kind of anticipate our defense struggling early on, but I was hoping that, especially with all the young players we have, that they could eventually start to develop and this defense could get better as the season goes on. We'll just have to see if that actually ends up happening. And honestly, if the Raiders defensive line doesn't start to improve soon, I want us to do something, either make a move via trade or try something different out. You know, try to get the young guys out there like Nesta J. Silvera or Byron Young, which, you know, it's a long shot that they'll be able to make a huge impact, but look, something's got to change if we can't improve fast. Also, looking back on it, I mean, it's a little bit off topic, but I don't understand now why we traded away defensive tackle Neil Farrell Jr. Because look, although he wasn't dominant or anything like that, he was pretty solid against the run at the very least. And from what we saw on Sunday, we got absolutely dominated against the ground. So look, hopefully this defense can turn it around and have a bounce back game against a more limited offense in the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is going to be a big week for this defense and just for this team in general. We have to bounce back after such a terrible loss. This team's got to show some fight and show that they can be resilient and bounce back after such an embarrassing loss. But Raider Nation, let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. What did you guys see from this defense? Let me know down below. Anybody that's new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to hit that bell notification. That way you get notified every time I post a video just like this one. That being said, I will see you guys in the next one.